What's going on, everybody? Episode 3. It's really cool to say that. I'm very thankful for the position I'm in right now and for how well the podcast has been going. It's been more than I expected. It's been more important than I expected. It's been a bigger part of my life than I expected. And I look forward to it every week. I obviously have a full-time job and stuff like that, and this has become a major part of my life now. When I'm not actually filming this, I'm planning on what I want to do next and ideas and how I can make it better for everybody watching and for those of you who support me. I'm learning as I go. It's not an easy thing to do, especially because I've never done this before. I'm also not very tech savvy, so I'm kind of learning on the fly with everything that I'm doing. And, I'm asking for help. It's such a big thing when it comes to new ventures is, asking for help, making sure that you know exactly what you're doing and figuring out exactly what the best way to do it is. Everyone has their own methods and their own ideologies on how to function and how to go about things, but may not be the same for everybody. So, I'm trying to figure out what works best for me in my situation. So I appreciate those who have been helping me the most. I wouldn't be here without you guys, without a lot of the support I have. Right off the bat, I just want to say I'm sorry for the glare from the light on my glasses. I'm, again, just trying things out. I know people always ask, like, why don't you wear your glasses? I wear glasses every day, so people ask me why don't I wear them for the podcast, but it's this reason why, the glare, but we're just going to roll with it today. It's not the end of the world. We'll see how it looks after the filming or whatever. But, I got a lot of good responses from last week too. I continue to get good responses, and I'm so thankful for that because it helps me game plan better. When I'm not filming, I'm like I said, I'm trying to figure out what I could do next and how I can go about this the best way possible. So, after last week's a little bit more serious episode, I figured we kind of continue off that same tip. Things got a little bit more deep and, kind of came more from like my core than it did anything else. So I'm going to kind of keep that same energy going this week. One question I've been getting asked a lot, and I've gotten asked a lot constantly, especially in, today's day and age, with the age that we're at least with people my age, is parenthood. A lot of people that I'm very close with or I know of around my same age are becoming parents. And it's so cool to see that. Like, I love seeing my people become parents and become, adults, really. Like, it's a big step in your life to become, the caregiver for someone and to basically have a life that you have to support now. And, I've been doing this for 6 years now. I became a father at 20 years old. And, a lot of people, especially nowadays, are asking, how did I do it? How do you do it? Being a young parent is not easy. It's been a tough road. If you know me very well, you know how tough it's been and what I've had to go through. But, it's all a learning experience. I don't regret anything that I've gone through and anything that I've experienced with this, because I wouldn't be here without it. I wouldn't be the parent I am without it. And I've had a great support system behind me my whole time. My mom's been amazing, my grandmother's been amazing, my friends. I really wouldn't be here without them. And a lot of people may not know, and most of the people know, like if you're close to me, know I didn't have a father figure growing up. I had a stepdad, but again, he was in and out, and he's not in my life anymore. But even my biological father, he had his reasons for leaving. It is what it is. I don't know him at all. Last time I saw him, I was in diapers, and I don't even remember it because I was too young. But again, I didn't need him because my mom did such a great job with everything else. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be the person I am today and know the things that I know and carry the lessons she taught me on to my kids. You know, she was such a great role model for being an amazing parent in general. And, you know, I'm going to continue to use the lessons that she taught me and is continuing to teach me, you know, with my kids. You know, I have 2 daughters. Their names are Luna and Lily. You know, they are, if you know me, they're the reason I am breathing today. Like, I love my children so much. Like, you guys can't see it, but behind the camera I have so many pictures of them. Like, even like this one right here right next to me, it's like I love these little girls. Like just look at those faces. I mean, everyone loves their kids, you know. Every parent loves their kids, or should, I should say. But, you know, becoming a dad at 20 years old and in the situation I was in, you know, not having a dad myself, like, I took that and ran with it. Like, it is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I am so thankful to be able to be called Papa by them. You know, they are the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. And, you know, as the years have gone on, I've gotten to see them grow, and I've gotten to see them mature and develop the personalities that they have now. And it's so awesome to see that. Like, I absolutely love it. And it's important for me today to be starting this episode because it's actually their first day of school, of kindergarten. And they're doing online learning, obviously. And they're starting kind of at a weird point in the year because we were trying to figure out what we were going to do with them and what direction we were going to take them in. And we didn't even know what school they were going to go to. And, you know, their mom and I aren't together, but we do a great job at co-parenting. And, you know, I know a lot of people have that, they have that issue. You know, a lot of parents, especially young parents, have issues with their, you know, the mother or father of their child. It's just, it's inevitable, guys. Like, everyone goes through it. I went through it, you know. Obviously my mom went through it with my dad. Like, it happens. It's you have your own personalities that are trying to take care of this other individual or individuals. In my case, like, you know, I have two daughters especially, and they require a lot of attention. You know, girls, especially young girls, they are so playful and so loving, and, you know, they acquire attention. And, you know, it's so funny, you know, like the whole astrology, like, they're Pisces, and they want attention. They want you to love them and show them that you love them. And I do that every moment I'm with them. You know, I'm not afraid to hide that I'm a dad. You know, I've never been one to shy away from showing that I'm a parent, because, you know, I know a lot of people, unfortunately, don't like to prove or show that they're a parent because they think because of their age or how they're going to be viewed by people, it's going to be a negative thing. But, like, what I say to those people is, like, you need to grow up, man. You were man enough to do the act. You need to be man enough to, you know, prove that you're a dad and be there for your kid. You know, and if you don't want to be, then don't. You know, I'm sure your child would rather have their mom support them fully, like I did, than someone who was just going to be halfway in there. You know, you can't choose to love your children on your time. You know, they need your time. You need to love them at all times. They don't have a choice. You know, they didn't choose to be born. You know, you chose to do what you did, and now they're here. And that was the mentality I had when I found out I was going to have kids. I was like, okay. I mean, it's not ideal. It wasn't ideal in the moment. It was definitely not the best time for it to happen, but it wasn't my choice to keep them. And I made sure I did whatever I could to, you know, mentally prepare myself. And, you know, the process wasn't easy. There was a lot of bumps in the road, and there was a lot of issues early on. And, you know, like I said, it's been 6 years. They're going to be 6 in March, and it's been tough. It's been tough, but I never wanted to be like my dad. I never wanted to leave my kids, and no matter what I was going through personally and trying to figure myself out, like I knew I always wanted to be their dad, and I always wanted to be in their lives, because I didn't want them to think that they weren't loved like I felt at times. I knew my mom loved me, and I knew I had her support at all times, but it's like, you always wish to have that other parent. And at this point now, I'm a grown man. Like I don't care how my dad feels about me, if he even thinks about me. I really don't care. I've come to realization that I didn't need it. I don't need it at this point. My main focus is on them, and I didn't need him to learn how to be a dad. I've learned on my own, and I've done a pretty good job, I think. Like, I'm still learning every single day. They teach me things every single day, just like I teach them things every single day. And now that they're starting school, like, it's a new venture for both of us. Like, I've never taken a kid through school, and I've never gone through the process of making sure my kids' homework is done, making sure that they're actually learning. And I'm just going to use the things that my mom instilled in me. Like, she made sure she was always on top of my schoolwork, made sure I was always on top of my schoolwork, and kept me in line when it came to the books, at least, because obviously as a kid you want to have fun, and as a parent you don't want to take away the fun from your kid, but you also need to kind of learn that once they're at this certain age, like my kids are at now, like, it has to be in moderation. It has to be prioritized now. School needs to be a priority. And we've been talking with the girls for a while, getting them mentally ready for school, and I think now they are. My daughter Lily is very social. She is a social butterfly. She loves to meet new people, talk and learn, and just be active and social. And my daughter Luna is very timid. She's very shy. She likes to be reserved and keep to herself, especially with new people. She's very much so a hermit, an introvert. But when she does get to know you, when she does come out of her shell, I mean, she is the most loving, the most playful, the silliest girl that I've ever seen. I mean, my daughter Lily is silly too, but Luna has this capability inside of her that, like, once the shell comes off and once the wings come out, she is just so funny. Like, we joke all the time, like, about the things she says and the things she does, because it comes out of nowhere sometimes. It comes out of, like, left field, because she's always so to herself and so reserved and wants to just do this and focus on that, but then she'll throw us for a loop, and I love that about her. I love that they have such different personalities, and it makes me enjoy being a dad that much more, because I get to see it every day. I get to see, like, how different they are, but also how alike they are, because yeah, they are twins, but they have their own personalities. They are one and the same, but also not at all. And it's really cool to see every day. And I'm excited to even see them grow with their schoolwork. And with online learning, I think it'll help Luna a little bit, because she's not going to be actually meeting the kids in her class or the teacher. She's just going to be seeing them on the screen. And Lily, I'm sure she's going to obviously take to it very easily. She wants to see people and she wants to meet new people, but I'm sure she wants to be like, oh, I want to meet them. I want to go talk to them and play with them. But it's going to be some time, however long that takes, for them to be able to get back into school. I hope it's not too long, because I want them to experience school. Their mom and I want them to go to a public school so that they can meet new people and experience new things in life. And I love that. I love that they're going to be able to do that, because that helped me out a lot. I only went to private school for high school, and I feel like the younger years of public school really helped me grow. I learned a lot of good things and bad things, mostly bad things, because of just how I was treated in school. And that's the thing. People are a little bit more harsh in public schools. You have a lot more personality and conflict, I would say. But I feel like you don't grow in a box of comfort. You have to get out of your comfort zone to be able to grow. And I grew a lot in those times, but also when I went to high school, going to a private school, like I learned a lot of reform. I learned a lot of a lot more about what kind of person I was because of the other stimulus that I was receiving there. Public school, you don't really choose what kind of stimulus you receive because everyone has their own personalities. Private school, it's a little bit more controlled. The environment is a little bit more it's a little bit more like predictable. You can basically tell exactly what kind of people you're going to get or what kind of treatment you're going to get. There's more rules, regulations, and stuff like that. So it was good to get that once I was kind of already developed. But I wouldn't trade how I did it. I loved the way I did it, and I loved the experiences that I went through. It's a part of my story. My story is significant for me because it's mine. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize that when it comes to how they were raised, and then it shows in how they're a parent. Like they become a parent out of whim sometimes, and me becoming a parent was out of a whim, and it's such a shock. It's a culture shock. You're thrusted into this new lifestyle and this new situation that you may not have any like idea of what you're getting yourself into. And being an actual parent to a child is very daunting. It's very daunting, and it's scary to think about because every decision you make, they get the result of it. They're a product of every decision you make. And it really does keep you in check for the most part on like how to do certain things in life and how to operate accordingly. Because again, everything you do, they are going to receive some sort of treatment from it, some sort of result. Whether you work hard and they get to enjoy the fruits of your labor, or you don't work hard and they suffer, like they don't get the things they want, or there's a lot of things that could come into it. I don't want to talk poorly on certain people because everyone has their downfalls. Everyone has their strife. I had my own strife. I had my issues becoming a parent, and it's all part of the learning process. Your kids are learning just like you are. And I feel like if you're not willing to learn, and if you're not learning as a parent, you're not going to help your child. And I wouldn't be here without my kids for sure. Like I'm 100% positive of that. Like I love my children so much because of that. Like I'm thankful for them every day. And I tell my friends that are becoming parents, and I tell my family, I have some family that are just barely becoming parents right now too. And I tell them, I'm like, whatever you do, if the last thing you do at the end of the day is for your child, you're doing what you need to be doing. Just make sure that no matter what, your focus is always on them, and you'll be fine. Things will figure themselves out as long as you worry about them and as long as they're taken care of. Because at the end of the day, that they're taken care of, and that's a priority. And I feel like when you're single or not, when you're not a parent, I guess I should say, I don't really know how to use that word in general, but like we were talking about last week, solidarity, you focus on yourself. You focus on what you need the most. Once you become a parent, that mentality needs to shift a little bit. You need to focus on yourself, yes, but your focus needs to be on yourself to help your children, to help better the lives of your kids. And I do that every day. I worry about my mental health as much as I can so that I can make sure that they are always happy and they are always around a positive energy. I've had times where it's been really tough on me to keep a smile on my face, to keep me in check. But when I'm with them, I put it aside. I put all my feelings and emotions aside because I realize they all they want to do is be with you and play with you and enjoy their time. Like they really don't care about your mental health. Like they want you to be happy, but they also don't realize like anything you may be going through mentally. Like my kids have seen me cry, and they've wondered, like, why are you crying? And you can't be too honest with them, because they won't fully grasp it at a certain point. Obviously, they get to an age where they can fully grasp it and understand. But my kids were young when they would see that, and they would ask me, like, why are you crying? Why are you sad? And I just tell them, sometimes people get sad. Sometimes your papa gets sad. But he tries very, very hard to make sure he's always happy for you guys and always make sure that, you guys are taken care of. And, it gets tough sometimes. And, they looked at me with just this kind of like okay, what are we doing now? What can we do now? And that's the kind of mentality you need to have, like, when you're a parent. It's like, okay, yeah, you can feel a certain way. You're totally in the right to feel sad and to feel lonely or anything you may feel. But it's just a vacation. You're not supposed to unpack your bags and stay there. You're supposed to feel that, recover, move on, because they need you. And the journey continues. I told them that, and they understood, and they're just like, okay, well, do you want to go play kitchen with us? Do you want to go play restaurant with us? Do you want to go, watch a movie? Like, at the end of the day, they're like, okay, you're sad, but maybe we can do something to make you happy. Maybe we can make you happy, or maybe playing a game will make you happy. And it may not make me happy, or it may not make you happy, but seeing them happy will. Doing something that'll make them laugh and enjoy with their time, like, it'll help you feel better. I promise you that. Like, I've had times where it's been really tough. Really tough. I've dealt with a lot of depression and anxiety. A lot of it. And sometimes I have to just put it away while I'm with them. I just put it aside for the time being, because I don't want them to see me like that. I don't want them to see their dad as weak. Even though there's nothing weak about feeling that way. I just don't want them to see that their dad isn't their superhero. And it's tough because they look up to me like that. And I don't know how to always live up to that expectation. I don't want to let them down. I don't ever want to let them down. And I feel like I let myself down more than I let them down. And it's tough. It's tough because, like, even right now, I'm struggling. I'm struggling in a lot of areas. But I'm happy that they're starting school. I'm happy that they're growing and continuing to live a positive life, and I'm doing whatever I can to make sure that continues, but it's not easy. And I look at these pictures of them and I see them happy, and I see the smiles on their faces, and I don't ever want that to leave them. And as a dad, like, you want to be your kid's superhero. You want to make it seem like you have all the power in the world and nothing hurts you. But it does. Things do hurt. Things are tough. But I will go through this pain infinite amount of times to just make sure that they're happy. To just make sure that they're okay and that they're taken care of. Because at the end of the day, if I don't succeed in my life, I just want them to succeed in theirs. I I may do a billion things in my life, but if I can support them and take care of them, I'll do it all. You know, I want nothing more than for my children to feel like their dad is willing to do whatever it takes, because I didn't have that. My dad didn't want to do whatever it took to be there for me, and I've always wanted to give him everything I didn't have. And it's hard. It's hard because you realize that part of your life is going to be spent focusing on nothing but providing for them. And today's day and age and in the world now, it's not easy. It's not easy to get the things you want, because there are so many obstacles in the way, and everybody has their strife. Everybody has their issues. But if you're willing to always work at it and never, ever, ever give up, you're going to win. You're going to succeed. Like I'm sad sometimes, guys. I'm really, really sad, and I don't want to get out of bed, and I want to give up sometimes. But I know if I give up, I'm giving up on them. And I can't do that. I can't. Because I know when I see them, they're just going to run to me, and they're just going to want to be with me. And I what am I going to say? No, I can't be with you right now because I'm sad. No, like, you can't do that. You can't allow yourself to succumb to those feelings. That pain is temporary. Now, no matter how much you want to think it's not, and no matter how much you want to think that it's going to always be there and always going to bear down on you, it's temporary. Because your kids are going to always be there for you. They are permanent. And their love for you is permanent. And you know, I'm 26 years old trying to figure out how to support and provide for these little girls that are they're just so happy and so loving, and I don't ever want them to lose that. Like, they're only 6. I don't want to lose that at any point in their life, and I don't know how else to do it. I don't know any other way but to just not quit. Like, I mean, it's even hard for me to like fully understand the idea of quitting. Like, I don't know what that feels like. I don't know what giving up is like. And I want them to know that their dad did whatever it took. That their dad did whatever it took to give them what they wanted and to make sure that they were happy. It doesn't have to be physical stuff, that anything they wanted. It doesn't have to be material things. It just has to be that if they wanted love, if they wanted attention, if they wanted to play, if they wanted to spend time, they were going to get it. And they're always going to get it. You know, and they ask me sometimes, like, Papa, why do you work so much? You know, it breaks my heart. I want to spend more time with them, but I can't afford it. I can't afford to take time off of work all the time. And And thankfully they're at the age now where they understand that. They're like, okay, Papa, you have to go to work to, pay bills and stuff. And I hate it. I hate it. I hate that they have to say that. They shouldn't have to say that. They shouldn't have to think that their dad has to work all the time just to provide. And it's like, at this point in my life, that's what I have to do. I have to do that now so that later on that they don't have to struggle. And their mom and I do such a great job at co-parenting now, and it's been a tough road, guys. Like, don't think that it's been a walk in the park for the last 6 years. It's been hard. It's been so hard. But we made it through that storm, and the girls never saw any of that. They never saw any of the bad times. They never saw any of the negative parts of our parenting. And that was our goal. To know no matter what, when we're around them, it's all positive. And we've done that. And we're going to continue to do that. But God, it's been hard. It's been so hard. But again, made it through. I didn't think I was going to make it through that part of my life. I didn't think I was going to make it through co-parenting with someone. And I've made it. And now we're at a much better part of our lives, and we're happier people, and we're so much more positive with each other. Like that in and of itself is such a damn blessing. Like, I can't even begin to tell you guys. Like, it goes back to the whole, I will go through that a billion times, infinite amount of times, just so they know that it was so that they didn't ever have to see it. They didn't have to feel pain. They didn't have to see that their parents were fighting. And look where it ended us. It ended us on good terms. We're good. Like, we are so good now. And I literally thank God every day to be on like good terms with her, because I didn't think we were gonna ever be happy with each other, happy for each other, and we are. She has her own life, and I have my own life, and we are doing so well in them. And I know she still has tough days, like I do. I don't ever discredit that. I don't say that her life is better than mine, because she has her own life living it with them, and I have my time with them. It's like, everyone has strife. I'm telling you guys that. Everyone does. You have to understand that they do, and you have to understand their point of view, because if you don't, you're not, your point of view is irrelevant, because you're not willing to separate yourself from your own feeling to see what other people are going through. I couldn't imagine what another person is going through on a daily basis, because my situation alone is hard enough. And I know people have their own issues, and I know people have struggles every single day. I talk to people every day. I deal with people every day with my job, and I've heard everything. I've heard everything. I mean, even myself, guys, I'll tell you right now, there's not one human experience that I've never been through. I've literally been through everything you could think of. And it may seem crazy to even say that on here, but it's true. And if you ever want to ask me about it, I'll tell you. I'll tell you exactly what I've been through. It has not been easy. I shouldn't be here right now, but I am. And I'm here today to tell you that, like, your purpose in life is greater than what you're going through. It doesn't have to be to have kids. If you don't want kids, you don't have to have it, but your purpose in life is better and greater than anything you could imagine. I didn't think I was going to even be here today. And I'm here today because of my kids too. My kids helped save me, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to save them every single day. So, being a parent is not a walk in the park. I have friends that take care of their siblings, and that have always taken care of their siblings like they're their own children. And they can tell you. They may not even be their own children, but they can tell you how tough it is raising a child and raising a person. It's not easy. And yeah, there are certain characteristics and factors that are different. It's just that's a reality, but it's not easy. You know, I give credit to those people who have stepped up and taken care of their siblings if their parents couldn't. You know, I didn't have that. That's why I give those people credit, because it's not easily looked over. Like I hear that and I give them credit because it's tough. You're giving up your life for another. That's the most selfless thing you could do. And even then, people think like just having a kid is selfless. It's not. If anything, it's selfish. You're having a kid to create life that's just like yours, to create a little person of you, a little version of you. That's the most selfish thing you could do. It's about how you treat that person. It's about how you are with that person, how you raise that person. That's the biggest thing. And you know, me myself, I would give anything I have up for them. You know, I got asked the other day from one of the kids I mentor, like, what would it take for you to quit work just so you could spend time with your kids? Like, would it take a certain amount of money? And I said, yeah, like if I got a crazy inheritance and I got this ridiculous amount of money, yeah, I would quit everything just to be able to spend time with them and to be with them at all times. I mean, granted, the money would probably go to them, half of it, if not more than half of it, just so that they're set for the rest of their lives, and then my money can help support me and my mom so that I can spend time with them. But like, I mean, I told him that and he's like, so you're still going to put money away? And it's like, yeah, that's what you do. As a parent, that's what you do. You always make sure that they're set first. You know, and shout out to the guys I do mentor, the group of kids I mentor. They've been a very positive part of my life recently. You know, Jesse, Justin, Tony, Jade, Devin, all of them have been very pivotal parts of my life recently. You know, and it's funny because, you know, they have their own YouTube channel, and they're one of the biggest reasons why I started my channel. Like, they wanted me to put some knowledge out that I give to them. You know, and, you know, they have a YouTube channel. They're doing really well. They're hilarious kids. Like, you guys should check them out. They're freaking hilarious. They have a little group called Gen Z. You know, I'll tag them or whatever in the description. You can check them out. They're great kids. They're great kids, and we share a lot in common with, you know, most of them didn't have dads growing up either. Their dads really weren't in their lives, and, you know, I'm not going to say I've been a father figure to them, but I've been a big brother to them, I guess I could say. But I love those kids. I love those kids like my own. I mean, they all know that they don't even compare to Luna and Lily, but, like, I love those guys too. And Jade. She's a girl, but you know what I mean, Jade. But yes, I love what I do with them as well. And they're another reason, like, I can't give up because of them, because I think of them and I think of the questions they have for me and how they ask me I get through things and how I do this and how I do that, and, you know, how like hypocritical would it be if I told them this and then quit, if I told them this and then acted the other way. I can't do that. I cannot do that to them either. And they're older. They don't ask the questions that my kids ask. They understand. But, you know, they have their own questions that I help them with. And, you know, I've been through, like I said, every part of life that you could think of. And I give them as much knowledge as I can so that they can learn from it. That way they can avoid any of the bad and learn from the lessons that I learned from those bad moments and mistakes. Like, you know, they're all in high school right now, and, you know, they're still trying to figure out their lives. They have no idea what they want to do, and, you know, still trying to, you know, maneuver and do all the things that they need to do to figure out themselves. And it's nice to have one end of the spectrum with my kids that are like fresh into school and like fresh into trying to like see what direction they want to go, to like these other groups of kids that like I take care of, that like they're developed, they know who they are, they just want to know what they're going to do, you know. And character development like that is a huge part in what I tell them, is that like your personality is set in stone already. You know who you are. You need to figure out what you want to do, where you want to be, and how you want to spend your time and spend your life. Like, are you being productive in life? Are you being positive? Are you being kind? Like, you know, I joke with them and I tell them like I'm teaching lessons every day. And they always tell me it's not a joke, like it's true. Like they're like, we learn from you every single day, and it's like, it's great. They watch these podcasts. I never asked them to. They don't need to hear this stuff again. I've told them this. They know how I feel about my kids. They know how I feel about any of the other topics we've talked about on these episodes. But they watch it anyways. They support too, and it's like they want to hear the other part of my life, other than just the knowledge that I teach them. They want to hear my raw emotion too, you know. And you know, I'm trying to teach them that it's okay to feel certain ways, and it's okay to feel sad, and it's okay to feel down. It's not the end of the world. Like, the pain we feel is necessary. We wouldn't be given the ability to feel pain if it wasn't for a pivotal part in our lives, and if it wasn't for a bigger purpose. And you know, these kids are so smart. Like, my kids, the other group of kids that I take care of, like they're all very intelligent individuals. And you know, you see that every single day, you know, from talking to the groups of kids that I hang out with, and even the kids that I'm raising, my daughters. Like, when you talk to other people, younger people, they're smarter than you realize. And you realize, like, was I that smart when I was their age? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy to see that, because I feel like I was dumb. I feel like I was so dumb when I was, you know, 14, 15, 16. But, you know, I'm hoping that they continue down the path that they're going and being positive. And, you know, I mean, like, their YouTube channel has like over 10,000 subscribers, and they're in 11th grade. That's crazy to me. But like, they figured out their direction. They figured out their wavelength. And I'm so proud of them. I tell them all the time, like, they're doing such a great job, and I'm always so supportive of them, and I just love seeing them succeed and seeing them do big things. And, you know, I'm proud of all the kids that I'm surrounded with. I just want to continue to be a positive role model for them. I don't want any of them to think that there's any give up in me, because there may be some, but it's never going to come out. It's never going to show its face. And I want them to take that with anything that they do, whether it be with school, what college they want to go to, what job they want to pursue. Can't be any give up in you. Can't be any quit. So, you know, being a parent has been the biggest thing in my life. It's the most important thing in my life. I think I was put on this earth to be a parent. You know, I am a dad. You know, and most people know me as a dad. I love that. I wouldn't want it any other way. You know, I will take care of my pack at all times, and whatever it takes, I'm willing to do for them. They know they have my support 150% for as long as I can give it. You know, and their success is the only thanks that I need. And my kids know that the only thing I need in return from them is just to be happy. Luna and Lily always tell me thank you and all this stuff. And I said, you don't need to thank me. Just be happy. I reward them with whatever they want when they're doing good, and when, like with school, they know, like, if they do good in school, they can go on a trip, they can go get a new toy or something, but they have to focus on what they need to get done first. And if the job gets done, then they can enjoy their life, they can enjoy whatever they want, and they know that. And the Gen Z kids that I'm talking about, like, they know, like, if they get done with school and they're successful with school, at least with high school, like, they can go to any college they want. They can pursue any career they want. Like, the world is your oyster, as they say. You just got to go do it. You just got to go take control of it and go achieve what you want to achieve. Like, they set out to be a successful YouTube page, and they did it. Now I tell them, you want to be a successful businessman or be a successful this, that, and the third, go do it. That's all it takes. And it's just like that about being a parent. You want to be a good parent? Be a good parent. Be there for your kid. Provide for your children. Love them unconditionally every second of every moment you have. And you do that, you'll be good. And they'll be good. And when your kids are good, you're good. I promise you that. So, thank you again, guys, for being here with me. Listening to me, I should say. It's talking about my kids is very important to me. I do it every day. But, going public with it is kind of different for me. But again, I'm not afraid to hide that I'm a dad. I'm not afraid to hide that part of my life, because I love being a dad. I love being able to call my children mine. They're my children. And I'll do whatever I need to for them. I'll do whatever it takes. No matter what, no matter when, no matter how, it'll get done. And as long as they're happy, I'm happy. That's all it takes at the end of the day. I just want them to be happy. So if you guys could, please share this video with anybody who needs to hear it. Anybody who's scared about being a parent, who may be becoming a parent soon and doesn't know how to go through it and doesn't know what they should do, send this to them. I want to help as many people as I can. So if you guys do that, please. And subscribe, please help me out a little bit. The support really makes me more excited every day for this. And if you don't want to subscribe, it's fine. As long as you listen to this and you took something away from it, that's amazing to me. But, if you guys do feel like supporting the channel, subscribe, like, comment, whatever you guys want to do. I'm so thankful for you guys, and I'm so thankful for the position I'm in. You guys are freaking awesome. I'm really trying to make this podcast as best as I can, and hopefully soon get it on Spotify. It's been kind of a mission with that, but we're gonna get there sooner or later. And we're gonna keep chipping away at this thing and figuring out what works best. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys took something away from it. Once again, go check out my friends and my kiddos that I mentor and I take care of. Like, they're hilarious. Like, you'll see me in some of their vlogs. I appear every so often in them just because I'm around them all the time. So yeah, go do that. Again, I'll leave all that in the description, and if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, that'll be in there too. All the information will be there. So I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Gonna again try to make this once a week, maybe making it 2 soon. We'll see. But I look forward to seeing you guys again. Thank you a million times. Thank you for watching and supporting. I love you guys. Continue to be positive and be nice to each other. Peace.